A Monster Calls is the heart-wrenching story of a 12-year-old boy called Connor, who escapes the pain of his mother's worsening illness by bringing the tree outside his bedroom window to life. Based on the book by Patrick Ness, who also wrote the screenplay, the story was inspired by an original idea by English and Irish writer Siobhan Dowd. A Monster Calls was to be her 5th book for teenagers. She'd written an opening, had an idea for structure, and a few characters. But much like the mother in the story, Dowd had cancer, from which she died in 2007. A Monster Calls was directed by Spaniard J.A. Bayona, seen here on set. On reading the book, he instantly recognised, as he puts it, themes I touched on in The Orphanage and The Impossible. Characters finding themselves in a very intense situation, with death on the horizon. Bayona came up with the idea that Connor draws, which Ness says was such a good idea because it allowed us to link to the illustrations in the book, which were drawn by Jim Kay. He says the drawings highlight how Connor is seeing this monster and the things that he doesn't want to share.
It is not important what you think. It is only important what you do.
Bringing the characters to life in A Monster Calls are Felicity Jones as the single mum dying from cancer, Sigourney Weaver as the less than sympathetic grandmother, and Liam Neeson as the monster. Close to 1,000 boys were looked at for the role of Connor, which went to Lewis McDougall, whose ability to convey internal conflict helped him land the part.
Hello, Mommy.
Given the storyline, a good chunk of A Monster Calls involves visual effects. But filmmakers didn't want to rely purely on CGI, that's computer-generated imagery. They also wanted to use traditional techniques, such as those used in the making of the original King Kong. In fact, the 1933 classic is a movie that mother and son curl up and watch in one of the scenes in A Monster Calls. Much like the book, the film is a moving experience, with Bayona applying any number of techniques to ensure his actors remained in touch with their characters' emotions. This included, on most days, playing soundtracks by composers including Ennio Morricone and Jerry Goldsmith to evoke the right mood. A mood which is best summed up by Ness. To me, this is a story about fear of loss, he says. I was really trying, above all else, to find the truth of how Connor felt. To not lie about it, not sugarcoat it, not sentimentalize it. To really feel how it hurts, because it surely does.
I have come to get you, Connor O'Malley.